Okay.
We're all dressed appropriately for episode 33, wearing what we call our bandanas. I don't know what you call this, but Charlie Cuna and Sid Ventura are wearing bandanas. My name is Noel Zarate. We are wearing bandanas for a good reason, because the Bandana Kid is our guest today, and he's actually wearing a bandana as well. So everybody's dressed for the occasion. Welcome to an eternity of basketball, Steve Watson. Thank you for gracing our show, Steve. And we know everything's gone crazy right now because of the pandemic. Una, kamusta? How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks to you guys. At least I'm doing something. I'm not behind the wall.
I was asking Steve before we started. When's the last time you actually wore a bandana?
When I had hair.
Well, we're gonna...
And when was that, though? And when was that?
Oh, there we go, bro.
We're going to talk more about the bandana. Actually, I want to know the history of the bandana as we go along dito sa ating palabas. Pero Steve, let's start from the very beginning. Your father is Australian, your mother's Filipina, you were born here. How did you get started in basketball?
Okay, well, we lived in San Pablo City, and the basketball, there was a basketball tournament that was really, really big. A lot of, it was amazing because I was like in grade school and the house was packed. A lot of people just watched basketball. So my two friends got me into it. Johnny Perlas, he played for Ateneo, and Ando Perlas. Ando is a very successful banker in the States now. And they got me into basketball, and that's how it started. And then there was one instance where the Ateneo basketball team came to play against our team in San Pablo. And my coach at that time invited me to play, and that's how I got into the junior team, Dodi Agkawili. So that's where I met Chito Navasa and Pons Valdez and all that. And they all taught me how to play basketball because these guys were so way better basketball players than me. So
when you were in San Pablo back when you were a kid, were you already tall? Were you a tall kid already?
Yeah, I was tall and skinny. Yeah. I was tall and skinny, and I didn't know how to play. I was a swimmer. I was a swimming freak, and basketball just just got me interested into it.
Okay. How old were you when you actually started playing basketball? You said may liga sa inyo, pero ilang taong ka nun? I mean, what, 7, 8 years old? Or?
I was siguro mga 13, 14.
Oh, so late na rin. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a minor league, but siguro walang magawa yung mga tao sa San Pablo, ang daming tao nanonood. So when you get that feeling of a big crowd, it really gets you into the sport.
Wow. So when you were growing up, did you have any influences? Did you watch the Mika players at the time, or even yung mga NBA players? Did you have access to that? Who were your favorite players?
Yeah. As I said, Johnny and Ando really got me into it, and there was one game where they put on, it was Ateneo, and at that time I was going to Ateneo. They went to Ateneo de San Pablo because we were still in high school then, and that gave me goose pimples. I really wanted to play for that school that I went to. So it was that's where the dream started.
And did you transfer to Loyola?
Well, I was in Manila. My two friends were studying grade school in San Pablo. So I was already in Ateneo at that time.
Ah, okay.
So I would be going back to San Pablo during the weekends, summer school. What do you call that? Summer vacation. That was when the summer leagues were. That was a fantastic summer league they had in Ateneo de San Pablo.
Were they trying to beat up on the white kid who was playing at the time? Because
All the
syempre,
time, man. All
yeah,
the time. I was the biggest target, and I got so beat up at that time.
and you said you were skinny pa. So how were you able to cope with that? I mean, obviously that made you better, di ba? But what was your pangontra to these guys or the locals who were trying to stick it to you?
Yung nagmura na ako, alam nila na, oy, Filipino pala. So,
That's right.
so biglang, okay, he's one of us na. Pero yeah, it was a fantastic training ground. The summer league in Ateneo, Ateneo de San Pablo, they also had guys from all over, from Manila, you guys from Cebu. It was a very big summer league, so I got a lot of experience there. As I progressed into the senior level, it was a very, very good training ground, and we played on cement pa.
Oh, yeah. Kaya pa
You
natin.
progressed into the senior level quite early because you actually have the distinction of being one of the very, very few high school players to actually play on the college team. How did that happen?
It was just chasing a dream. There's nothing like winning a senior championship. When you were in the NCAA, at that time, the NCAA was just, even thinking about it gave you goose pimples. Your hair would stand. And I was playing the juniors at that time, and we had won a championship with Chito, Norvasa, Pons Valdez, whole bunch of others, Louis Rabat. So that was fantastic. And then all of a sudden they graduated, and I wanted to be with them. So I tried out, and thankfully Dalupan liked me.
Pero wala bang rule
was
ng time
lucky.
na yun? Na you're a high school kid, you can't play with the college team. Walang ganong rule?
Apparently not. I guess
Apparently wala.
I guess naawa sila. Nakita nila na this Totoy wanted to join. I really wanted. I begged. I tried out. I worked my butt off, and wala, sinama ako. So,
No, but before you played for the seniors, so in high school you won a championship, and with all those guys who were pretty good players as well, no? But how was your
Yes.
performance in high school? Were you the main scorer, top scorer guy? Were you a center? What's your position?
I was Chito Narvasa was our star. Chito and Pons.
Okay.
And I was just a young kid, and these two guys took me in and taught me how to play, man. And as my first year in the NCAA progressed, I improved. So I started to play power forward, and voila, everything just worked out. It was the chemistry in our high school team was amazing, and we were able to win the championship.
And your coach was also a player for a championship team as well, right?
He was Dodi Atawili. Yeah, he was Ateneo's star point guard. He played next to Ed Ocampo.
Ed Ocampo.
We have one of your teammates, I think, from the past, or another former guest that we have on the show. Jimmy Manansala is actually watching, and Jimmy says hi to you, Steve.
Jimmy, yan ang idol. He was our star player, RPU.
Yep.
Kung wala si Jimmy, wala kami talaga. He was a scoring machine.
Yeah.
So,
He
I have
shared gold medal match. He was a highest pointer against China, 26 points.
wala. Hindi siya no one could stop him. He was a bat out of hell.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Okay yan. Pero pasok muna tayo sa seniors mo sa Ateneo.
Yeah.
So you're the fourth year high school kid. How were you able to adjust your schedule? Because obviously iba yung schedule ng high school, di ba? Sa college, practice, everything, they adjust to you, or were you excused from classes afterward? I mean, how was that?
Both of us being from Ateneo, you know that Ateneo does not care. They don't adjust to your schedule. You adjust to their schedule. So it was tough. It was really, really tough. They don't care. And I just had to have my grades up because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to play. So I'm sure you can relate.
Mhm. Okay.
Wala silang pakialam. Gusto
Yeah.
mo maglaro, mag-aral ka pa.
Okay. Well, tama naman yun.
Yeah.
Guys, sandali. I'm done with this bandana.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
medyo nainitan ako eh. Pero, ha? Bandana.
Kasi, I was just getting used to it.
We can do this again for
Guys,
posterity
thanks,
towards the end, but it's right here.
I really appreciate
There's
it.
some people posting pictures of us already in the bandana.
Tama na.
Okay. Sige, I'll remove it na rin. I'll remove mine. Kasi mumukha naman akong ano yan kung ako lang.
Mawawala na yung dugo ko sa utak ko.
Yan. Okay na. Okay.
Thank you very much for the props, guys. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to make you feel welcome also.
Either that or you're just,
We're just tripping, no? No, but how about the college guys? So because the sophomore na sila, Fritz, Gaston, Carpio, they were sophomores, diba? When you entered, and then sila, the freshmen. Padim was a freshman, no? At the time, I think, when you entered the team.
Padim came in on my freshman year.
Okay, yeah.
Was,
okay. When you were a freshman na talaga, when you were a freshman in college na.
Yes.
Sabay kayo.
He was actually he was ahead of Sila Fritz.
Okay.
He was our brain. This guy, Padim Israel, was taking management engineering honors. So smart guy to do that and play basketball at the same time. For those of you who don't know.
Nice, I didn't know that. That's wild. But when you were at Ateneo, there were a lot of opportunities also to get championships in the NCAA. 1977, I guess, was a pretty special year for you guys.
Why?
It was 76, 77.
75,
76,
My first year,
76.
was very special.
Mhm.
I was still in high school, and the senior guys were okay for me to come in. As I told you, I begged. I really wanted to play with them, and I got to play again. I got to play with Jerry Versosa. He was an amazing point guard.
Right.
Chito Mistades, fantastic players, fantastic experience my first year, and that got me ready for the second year.
But were you the only fourth year? You were the only one from high school on the team.
I was, yeah, I was.
And I suppose they were welcoming, or were some of them medyo, the little kid, hindi ka pinapansin, or that type?
Well, I knew my place. I knew my place. It was a struggle at first. But they immediately put me in my place, and I accepted my role. But it didn't stop the hunger. I really wanted the championship very, very badly. And
how was your playing time then?
Excuse me?
How was your playing time when you were fourth year high school student? Your first year with the seniors.
I suppose Dalupan liked me, man. So I got to see a lot of playing time.
Maybe because you were pretty good also, no?
Enthusiastic. Enthusiastic.
Right.
I think the enthusiasm was the reason why I got the playing time. And I also had a bunch of amazing teammates, so that helped.
Well, in 1977, you guys actually had a closed door game against San Beda. Medyo may kaguluhan ng NCAA nung
We have to talk about that.
Well, actually, a lot of fans are reminding me to ask you.
About that.
We
talked about it with Frankie Lim and Fritz.
Yeah,
So
Frankie Lim and Fritz actually talked about it. So I guess it's only right that we also ask the young guy.
Fritz had a lot to say about it, actually.
Yeah.
Whatever Frankie Lim said was fake news. I love you, Frankie. Frankie, I love you.
No,
So
he
how
said
was
he was hit by a rotten egg. Parang gano'n.
Well,
Someone,
good for him.
It's still there, huh? Andun pa rin, huh?
And the sad part was the rotten egg came from the Sambeda side.
Yeah.
So dapat ikaw tatamaan at tatamaan mo si
friendly
Frankie.
fire.
No, pero what happened there? How was that experience? That whole the magkakagulo, so they shut the fans out, and you guys were playing like the NBA does now. There's no fans. You know,
I know.
how was that? How was that for you?
That was bizarre. That was absolutely surreal, bizarre. It was, you know, it got worse and worse. You know, it got worse and worse. It started to get violent and all that. But when it came to the championship, I don't think anyone has experienced that before. There were a lot of riots before, you know, but all the riots happened like outside the game. There was nothing inside, you know, during the games. But that year, the Ateneo, every time Ateneo and Sambeda played against each other, it was really bad, man. I tell you, it was like raining padlocks and marbles and bottles and
Yung pisong ganyan kalalaki. Yung pisong ganyan kalalaki, di ba?
piso. And these guys,
Golf ball daw, golf balls.
some
Diba?
people would throw from the bleacher. So can you imagine ang layo niyan pagdating sa'yo, ang sakit. You know, actually, one of our biggest players, Jimmy Truseco, thought he was going to play. Because Dalupan said, Jimmy, di ka. Akala niya, papasok siya. Yung pala, ginamit ni Dalupan para pangharang. Okay. Tumayo ka dyan. Tapos, tayo nagtago si baby.
Ginawang payong.
Ginawang shield.
Ginawang wall.
No, but you've been mentioning Dalupan, baby Dalupan, the late great maestro, no? He won championships before you made it to Ateneo already. He was winning. He won with UE. And then so you knew who he was and what, you know, more or less what kind of a person he was. When you got there, kamusta? Were you in awe of baby Dalupan?
Exactly. In awe. You know, it's funny, you know, because he's such a frail person, you know. He walks in very frail and all that. Pero when he walks in the practice, you know, before practice, maingay, ganyan, everyone's having a good time. But when baby walked in, everyone, you know, just kept quiet and just, you know, just felt his presence. You know, he had a presence that everyone respected. And he didn't say much, you know. I remember my first year with baby, yung first time out niya, wala siyang sinabi, kamay lang, oh. And everyone knew what he wanted to say, you know. So it was an experience, you know. It was very different. Titingin lang sa'yo. And then alam mo na you're screwing up na. So you have to figure out a way not to screw up because he just put you back on the bench. So yeah, it was a very unique experience.
If Baby Dalupan sort of liked you because he gave you all of those minutes, sino naman yung number one na parating pinapagalitan ni Baby Dalupan on your championship
he got
teams?
mad at everyone, man.
Really?
No one spared.
Oh wow.
Because we were high school, we were not his Crispa team. So can you imagine the frustration he would have? You know, we were not as talented as his as his star team. So he would really get on our case, but it worked, you know.
But how did he run practices? How were practices? Were they intense?
You know, he would walk in. He would walk in not when the practices started. He would walk in like about 15 minutes after, because he had an assistant coach that would get us all warmed up. Mm-hmm. And then when he came in, he would just say, "Oh, this 5 versus this 5, and then game." It's different. The way basketball was run before is very different from the methodical basketball that's being implemented now. It was old school. So, if he didn't like the way the practice was going, he'd stop it and say, oh, you guys are idiots. You guys don't know what you're doing. And then game na naman. So it was very old school.
Yeah,
Iba
Steve,
si baby, iba talaga.
Steve, that 1977 season was actually also the last season of Ateneo and the NCAA, right? Did you still play by in 78?
Well, 78 was the closed door, I think. That was
No,
the closed door.
Yung ba yung 70, closed door was 78? Di ba 77
75,
closed door?
yes, 77 was the closed door. Yeah,
77 is closed
right.
door.
Then after that, Ateneo bolted the NCAA and joined the UAP. Were you still part of that?
Ateneo, di ba naglaban pa Ateneo San Beda noong 78 and San Beda won that championship?
Yeah. So what happened was before the game, the president of Ateneo just hit us with a ball from left field when no one was expecting. And everyone was stunned, man. Everyone was like sitting down. What? We don't get to play next year?
Yeah.
We're out. What are we gonna do? So we walked into a championship game, all deflated.
Yeah.
Fritz told us
I
about that.
recall. Yeah, I recall Fritz said the same thing. He had the same sentiments as you.
Yeah. What perfect timing. So.
Sabi nga ni Fritz, pwede naman pagkatapos, di ba? Katapos ng game sabihin, parang ganun eh. Wala.
No excuse. San Beda played a very good. They were a good team, okay. Mm-hmm. But what do you mind if I sour grape? We had everything stacked up against us, man. Like Fritz, Joy, and I were in the youth team.
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out how come we would always have tournaments just before a championship game. Like the first round, we weren't able to play because we had to play Pestos Kukan in Singapore, and then we would always be away every time we had important games. So what's going on there, man?
Kinikwento nga rin ni Fritz that there was like a rule na if you miss practice, you can't play in the game. But you guys missed like a week because you were in Singapore. So then, di na kayo pwede maglaro.
Yeah, no, we missed a number of games, and it was hard, because when we came back, everyone that played really well, does the coach put them in the bench because Steve and Fritz and Joy are back, and all that. Mm-hmm. And it was also very overwhelming for our rookie coach too. He was an assistant coach under Baby Dalupan, and all of a sudden, boom, he's head coach of a championship team that is.
This is Bongo, right? Bongo.
Yeah, Bongo.
The original Bongo.
Yeah.
The original Bongo. Yeah.
But di ba you won championships 2 in a row, the 75 and 76. 76 you were the MVP, right? MVP in 76.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, but so can you compare those two teams, or was it essentially the same team? Which one was the tougher year for you guys? What do you remember about those two?
Well, the team that lost to San Beda was the strongest team because we had all the players from the high school that had won their championship. They were also back to back. So that year we were supposed to win. It was like foregone conclusion. Ateneo will win the third championship. It was a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. But hey, Trump won the election.
Basketball's a funny game. Basketball can be a funny game. You never know.
Anything's possible talaga, no?
Were you still able to play or did you still play in the UAP? When you Ateneo crossed over, were you still part of that? Hindi na. You weren't able to play in UAP
when they said we weren't going to be in the NCAA, Dalupan invited us to play for Crispa, their semi-pro league. And we didn't know what the plans of Ateneo were, so we had to do something, So we played for Crispa. And for a while, and then that was not going anywhere. So,
But didn't you take parang further studies after Ateneo? You studied in
no,
the States, right?
I did, yeah. Well, my dad said, do you wanna continue doing this, or do you want to finish your education?" So Ateneo wasn't going anywhere, and I didn't really feel if I wanted to go continue basketball, you know. So I said, "I'll just finish school." And my dad offered me to go to the States, and I said, "Okay,
Why not? Oh.
why not?" So yeah, so I spent 2 years in the States and tried to make a life there, but it was tough. It was different, so I decided to come back here and play.
I have a question about the youth team because now we have all of these eligibility issues, diba? About, even if you're a field foreigner, may mga kailangan pang dokumento. In your case, I'm born in the Philippines, I can play. Ganun lang ba yun?
Yeah, ganun. It wasn't an issue because my mom was Filipina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was dual citizen. Everyone knew, I would be walking around speaking Tagalog. It was not an issue.
Yeah. And you were born here kasi. You were really born in the
I was born here. Yeah, my mother's
Ganun din,
Filipino.
si Charles Brock din, di ba? Charles Brock played for the Philippines. He's actually German, but he was born in the Philippines. Si Charles Brock, and played for the national team.
A bunch of other guys, yeah. If you look at the Hall of Fame, you have a number of white dudes over there. Pero hindi sila marunong mag-Tagalog, just like me.
Yun lang.
Ako yung original.
Yeah, there's someone on the Facebook comments now. He said nga na he watched one of the practices yata of Great Taste or something. Then may mga kumakain ng fishball sa labas ng practice. You were there talking in Tagalog, and everybody was like looking at you. Kasi di nila alam, di ba, na taga rito ka talaga. And I guess it's something that surprises people until now, I suppose, no?
Naka-disguise lang ako.
When you left for the States for 2 years, what were you doing in the States at the time?
I finished school. I didn't want to. The opportunity came, and I decided to finish in the States.
Did you play when you were there in Connecticut?
I tried out.
Okay.
And that was an experience.
Tell us about that experience. That must have been a roller coaster.
One of the funniest experience was so during the trial, because in the States you have to be drafted, but if you try out, you're called a walk-on, and walk-ons are third-class citizens. They treat you like dirt, So, but some walk-ons do well, like Jeff Horn said, he was a walk-on. I think Scottie Pippen was a walk-on also. So, not Scottie Pippen, Rodman. So anyway, my first practice, I posted up against a guy that was 6'9", and the coach called the timeout and went straight to me and he says, "What the F are you doing?" So I'll never forget that. I posted him up, coach. A 6'2" guy doesn't post up a 6'9" power forward. You dumbass. So that was my introduction to US basketball. But actually, it helped because when I tried out for about a year, and I learned a lot. One of the assistant coaches really helped me out. So when I came back and I couldn't find a job, I had no intentions of playing basketball anymore. I said I had a college degree, so I'll look for a job. But it was tough when I came back. So thankfully, Fritz Gaston, God bless him, he was the guy that got me into Utex. And what I learned in the States helped me out in the pros. It was tough getting back, 2 years of inactivity.
What years were you in the States? 1980 na, or 79?
80 to 82.
Okay, so after Ateneo was Crispa first for a couple of years.
For a year and a half, and then we I got to play for the national team again.
Yeah. That's
with Vadim and Joy and Fritz again.
No,
For
we
the
need,
World
we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that national team experience. How was it? Aside from the fact that you missed games in Ateneo because of that, and and it kind of screwed up the schedule.
So that was when the PBA became that was when the PBA was professional, right? So they couldn't have the star players play for the national team, so they had no choice but to use us.
Mhm.
So we were very overmatched. But well, personally, it was an amazing experience. We got to play against Schmidt of Brazil and Dali Pagic of Yugoslavia. Amazing players that got to play in the NBA. So yeah, it was amazing.
This was 78.
We got killed in every game.
Yeah. Were you posting up?
This was 1978.
What happened? Nawala si Noel.
No, sorry. I'm okay. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Go. Yeah.
Okay. No, this was 1978, diba? We hosted the World Championship here in 1978. But Nick Jorge, who was manipulated the system in such a way that semifinals na kaagad ang Pilipinas noon. But what was it like playing in a World Championship na yung kaganapan?
I think that was the FIBA rules.
That's a senior team.
I don't.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, my fault.
Youth team. I think Steve was with the youth team.
Was with the youth team. Yeah. Okay, glad. Copy that. So sige.
Yes. So I was saying that I think those were FIBA rules. So if a country hosts a basketball tournament, the host country's basketball team automatically qualifies. So I don't think Nick had a hand in that. Those were FIBA rules already.
Hindi na kasi dumaan ng elimination ng Philippines, semis kaagad eh. Yung nangyayari ng 78
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, no, I think what Noel is referring to is the Philippines didn't participate anymore in the group stages. They proceeded directly to the last 8, to the next round.
Oo nga, tama yun. Rule ng FIBA yun eh, kasi we were host country eh.
So we had that option pala. Okay. We learn something new every day.
Well, you were mentioning that you got pretty much blown out in a lot of the games so that you played.
Except for Australia.
Okay. Close
fighting Australia.
But did you get to watch the Philippines perform in the past couple of World Cups? Last year, 2019, 2014. Was it something like that? I mean, really like an overmatched. Well, not 2014. We played well, but this 2019 we were pretty much overmatched. Did you feel? Is there a comparison?
Okay, that's a good question. Because we like from the start of the game, tambak na kami. The Philippines did well in the beginning, the beginning stages, and then once the other teams figured out that what their weaknesses were, then wala na, no? So the Philippines did well at like first half, in first 20 minutes. Maganda naman laro nila eh. Pero when you get to play against these teams that are so tall and move a lot faster than you are, talagang mabublow out ka. Pero the Philippines did well this recent tournaments. Galing nila. I was very proud of them.
Bit up and down lang, no? Galing lang because they've been showing all these replays on TV now, di ba? Di ba, Sid? Yung mga pinapakita nila yung mga games
when we nearly beat Argentina in 2014, Luis
Puerto Rico.
Scola and
yan ang sayang. I think the Philippines had a huge chance to
advance
move forward, pero wala. Anyway, we'll get there.
Even against Croatia, overtime in Croatia, we had a chance to win it in regulation.
Yeah,
against Croatia in the opening game.
Jeff Chan missed a 3-point shot at the buzzer. Could have.
Nothing against our American player. He played really well, but it seems that the Philippines plays a lot better without, on their own.
Andre Blatch.
All we need is a tall guy. Sana, Kai Soto and a bunch of other guys. Filipinos are so tall now, no?
Pero nadi-emphasize naman na yung center play ngayon. That's kung kailan tayo may matangkad, I mean, pivot men are no longer in high demand sa basketball. But anyway, my question lang was, in 1978, another thing I had to point out lang is, even though bawal pa ang NBA players noong 1978, in reality, the players you went up against were not really amateurs, and they were a lot older than you, mga mid-20s, late 20s na rin sila, di ba? So parang doon pa lang may disadvantage na, and you guys were still teenagers or early 20s, di ba? Hindi pa kayo pros nun eh.
Yeah, it was it was a big gap that happened, when all the best players of the Philippines moved professionally. We were just college kids, just straight out of college. Against these guys in Yugoslavia, Brazil, these were all professional. These guys were all, they said that they were amateurs, but their leagues were they were like better than the PBA, way much better than PBA. So talagang hirap eh.
And they were earning money na eh, di ba? So they were they were actually professionals.
They turned pro at the age of 14 in Europe, di ba?
But even back then, there's a height advantage already. There's really a disadvantage on our side. I mean,
laki.
Our biggest guy maybe 6'5", 6'6".
Playing against Russia, oh my gosh. We played against 3 7-footers. Yung point guard nila 6'8". Wala, yung mga Magic Johnson noon na everyone was saying, wow, 6'8" point guard. Russia was doing that already at that time.
Nauna na.
Who was your tallest player then?
Yeah, who's your tallest teammate?
Paul Herrera.
6'4".
6'4".
6'4", yeah.
6'3", 6'4". 6'4", tippy toes.
pero diba, all these years you're playing against all these guys. Then suddenly you guys are teammates. How was that? Obviously there were tryouts, I think, and then it was cut down until finally there were 12 guys. And how was the experience of who was your roommate? Who were you tight with? I know you had Fritz there and Joy, but where you got close to the other guys who you used to hit them in the game, but now you're friends. But how did that work out?
Well, when you get when you're chosen for the national team, all of that just disappears, because you're very proud. So yeah, you beat each other up in tournaments, but all of a sudden, you're representing the country, and it was really cool. So we became friends immediately,
Who became your best friend out of besides the Ateneo guys? Who became your best friend on the team?
In the national team?
Yeah.
No one in particular. I was close to everyone. We all hung out. I missed Alex Clarino. He was a funny guy, man. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Jimmy Manansala was a really nice guy. They're all nice people. I just like what you said. You really miss them with this lockdown. It would be really cool to get that get together so I can see them again.
Yeah. Hopefully
we can have a virtual get together. We can have one via Zoom.
That's fun. That's fun.
The tab will be bahala na si Noel dyan.
Yeah, of course.
Kaya Noel yan.
Siyempre.
No. But before we move on to our next portion, because Sid's gonna show you some pictures, I had a question about your Crispa stint. You said 1.5 years in Crispa. How come you said it wasn't going anywhere? I thought you and Baby Dalupan had a relationship already.
Well, Baby Dalupan was coaching
pro team.
Was coaching the senior team. We were a semi-pro. It was it was Pumaren, the father of Derek
Hello.
and Franz.
Hello.
Yeah. And it was really a personal thing for me because I didn't know whether I wanted to continue basketball professionally or just finish school and do what everyone else does, look for work and all that. So I was at the crossroads at that time. So a bit wishy-washy for me.
I saw a photo, a couple of photos. You were in Ateneo. You weren't wearing a bandana yet, but in Crispa, you were wearing a bandana already.
Yeah.
So I saw
Tell us
photos.
a
So
story
how did the bandana?
Oh.
Fashion statement.
Talaga?
You know what? Like I was into tennis also. I really like tennis. I sucked at tennis, but I really forced it. I thought I would be a lot better.
So you're a Bjorn Borg fan, ganon.
I was a Bjorn Borg fan. I was that guy from Argentina. All of them were wearing headbands there.
Villas.
So,
Guillermo Villas.
Guillermo Villas.
And then there was another guy also from the United States.
Gerolitis.
Vitas
Yeah.
Gerolitis.
My
Yeah.
gosh, I'm talking to sports aficionados. They know.
Oh yes.
Yeah. No, I also used to play tennis when I was a kid. Yeah, also,
I was a
Fantastic
Bjorn
game.
Borg fan also.
My backhand sucks, man. That's a pretty good forehand. So, and I used to play with my dad often in San Pablo. So yeah, all of those guys had headbands, and I said, wow, they look so cool. And they all had long hair and all that. So
yeah.
I want to be like that. That's where it started.
Okay.
But they were all just really imitating Borg. Diba? I mean, Borg was the original. He was the one
Borg
who
was
would
the
really
rock
pull it
star.
off.
My idol.
He's the one who pulled it off the best. Diba?
McEnroe also used to wear.
Yeah. That's right. He did for a bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no one wore a bandana.
Right.
Oo nga. Oo
So
nga.
why did you think? Why bandana nga? You just thought of
Yeah,
it? Or?
no,
That must have been the artist in me.
Okay.
That was my fashion statement. So that was my claim to fame.
Is there a you have to match it with your uniform? Is it parang ganon? If it's green, kailangan ganon?
No. It was random. Actually, the bandanas were so hard to find. I couldn't really dictate what color to use. So.
Ilang bandana lang?
ilan? How many did you have in your closet?
Yan ang susuotin ko.
Okay.
But how many of them were there?
And I used to get my bandanas in head shops because they had head shops before the drug scene became really strict. So it was this place in Santa Mesa that was a head shop. Can you imagine a head shop? And they sold all these paraphernalia and all that. And they had the best bandanas, so I got all the bandanas there.
Di ba? At least alam natin yung kwento.
Head shop in Santa Mesa. I'm gonna find that one. Di ba?
I see some of the guys are gonna start commenting now.
You won't find that. It's SM already.
Yung area yun.
Okay.
SM na yan.
Ano, photo time na ba, Sid? Are we photo time?
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll set it up lang, ha?
We dug up a lot of photos of you, Sid. Steve, rather. Yeah.
We look at the photos. Hope you can see it clearly. Pero, yan. This is Ateneo days pa. Yeah.
Diba?
There you go.
Yeah, I was still skinny.
What year was this? Would you know?
77.
And you were receiving a MVP award?
MVP.
Yeah.
Wow,
The fellow giving it to you, is he from Ateneo or he's from the NCAA?
NCAA.
Okay.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now, guys.
Really?
That's what we want. That's what we want to achieve on this portion.
Just
You guys are not
ko
going to
lang.
make me cry, are you?
We'll see. Singit ko lang, our good friend Jay Mercado actually gave us the lineup of that team. And Sid, he was with the men's team in 78.
Yeah, my bad. It was my mistake. Yeah. Seniors
was,
team pala yan.
you were the ones who represented the Philippines here when we hosted the World Championship. So your teammates there were Joy Carpio, it says Nathaniel Castillo, this is Alex Clarino, Mon Cruz, Greg Gozum, Paul Herrera, Padim Israel, Bochok Lauchenko,
Bokyo.
Bochok de Los Santos pala isa, Bokyo Lauchenko, Ed Merced, Cesar Teodoro, Marty Tierra, and Cesar Yabut.
Kasi Paul Herrera nga pinakamatangkad, ano?
Oo nga. Si Yabut matangkad din to, pero tama, si Herrera nga yata pinakamatangkad.
I hope they're all still with us. I know that Alex is looking down from heaven.
The rest I haven't heard if they passed. So
well, I was talking to Padim the other day, so I know he's around.
Padim, oh my God, the guy is addicted to remote control vehicles. That guy has a fantastic collection of remote control vehicles.
Oh, really? Okay.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, I hope he's watching right now.
Are you gonna do Padim soon, you guys? Are you planning to do Padim?
Mahihain daw siya. That's why I told you just watch na lang some of the episodes.
You need to call him. You need to call him.
You need to convince him for us.
Come on.
Padim doesn't want to come on?
Yeah, nahihiya
He's shy daw. He's shy.
Nahihiya daw siya.
Some of the guys are shy. So.
I gotta.
Yeah, maybe you can help us convince him.
Knock some sense into him. How can he be shy? He's one of the best preachers. He's one of
exactly.
That's right.
Hey Steve, there's someone watching. She says, "Go Pops, Sophia."
That's my sweetheart.
Yeah, watching now. So she's watching you right now with a blue heart, Ateneo heart on her post.
Before I go to the next photo, there's also a comment here about the Santa Mesa market from Tony Valenzuela. Ang sabi niya, pang Jeprox. Santa Mesa market.
I haven't heard that term in a while.
Peace.
Laki sa layaw.
Siguro we went to the same shop.
And then someone said Marty Tierra is still around. He's in Mandaluyong near JRU though. That's where he stays.
Oh, God bless him.
Yeah.
Okay, ito Ateneo pa rin. So, what's the feeling of what year were you? You were third year when you were MVP? Diba? Third year college, I suppose?
I was a freshman.
Oh, you were a freshman, you were MVP. So, how was that? Parang, you must have felt on top of the world at the time.
I don't know. What can I say, man? I'm sure you'd feel the same way. You know, you're living the dream, playing for the blue and white.
And
this photo. You know, the players now, pare, may mga allowance yan, ganyan. Pero, ako, wala pa akong you know, I didn't even have free education. I had to pay for my way. I had to buy my own shoes. Pero once they gave you the uniform, grabe, iba yung feeling mo niya.
So this is a picture against LaSalle. Talk to us about the Ateneo LaSalle rivalry. Was it already pretty big during your time, or lumaki na lang, or diba?
Ateneo San Beda talaga nun diba? Hindi pa masyado LaSalle.
Pero paano naging Ateneo LaSalle, diba?
Sa UAAP na lang yata yun
The NC daw, meron pa rin NC. Nagsimula rin daw.
It was always Ateneo LaSalle. Ever since.
Parang Letran San Beda magkalaban nun
San Beda, the Ateneo San Beda rivalry came out because on my first and second year, they had a really strong team. They had Abe King, and then the second year they had JV Yango, and of course Chito Loisaga, my classmate in grade school.
Right. You guys were classmates, huh?
Yeah, actually year mates. Hindi ko kaklase yan, but
different section.
Batchmate.
Batchmate ko siya. Can you imagine if Chito was with our team?
Yeah. But he chose, siyempre, si Kaloy kasi, King Kaloy, San Beda.
Airpods niya masyadong loyal sa San Beda.
Correct.
Chito could have played with us, man.
In your day naman, sa LaSalle, sino naman ang mabibigat na kalaban nyo in LaSalle during your time?
Nabuti mo si Limeng Beng? Or hindi na?
Hindi ko naabot si Beng
Oh, wala na rin
Mike, who are these guys?
Mike Bilbao, wala na rin nun
That's Juan Balcells. The mestizo there on the right side of Pons. I forgot the guy guarding me. And then behind me was our star point guard, si Jerry Versosa.
Jerry Versosa. He went to Eco, di ba?
Yeah, he's still around. He's in Baguio. He's in Baguio now.
Yeah, he's the general manager of the power company in Baguio.
Oh, is there any reason why you're wearing number 44?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Okay, that's another reason. That's another reason why I had to beg. I had to beg to get into the team, and I had to beg for me to wear 44 because during the amateur times, you know, you were only able to wear until number 12, number 13, I think.
15.
Or 4 to 15 yata. 4 to 15 yata.
Right?
Yun.
And you couldn't have. But my idol was Jerry West.
Ah,
He was
okay.
my idol. I ate, I slept, everything. Jerry West. Jerry West was coming out of my ears everywhere. And I wanted to be like Jerry West, and I wanted to have his number. And our manager, Bok Villamor, I love you, Bok. He was the guy that convinced everyone to allow me to use 44. Jerry West, man.
Yep. Still great until now. He's the logo until now.
He's the logo. He's my man until now.
He's a
One of the
Laker.
top 5 guards of all time. In my
Lakers,
book.
yeah.
Talaga kailangan sabihin Charlie is a Laker, di ba?
Laker.
I was a Celtic.
Oh!
fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Celtics, yes.
My favorite play, my favorite team was Boston, but my favorite player was Jerry.
Jay Mercado just commented, this guy was, the guy guarding you is Alex Tanda.
Alex
Si Alex
Tan
Tan ba yan?
And then this Alex Tan yan.
It doesn't
Diba?
look like.
Diba?
At saka, naglasal ba si Alex Tan?
Hindi, literan yun, di ba?
No.
Alex Tan
Nakakamali si Jay.
UE yan.
UE. Oo nga pala.
Yeah, UE. That's right.
UE.
Oh, no, what's next? Do we have something?
Mali pala.
Are we moving
Dapat
forward?
sa Lasal ka, Steve, sa Lasal,
Yeah.
sino yung mga, ayan, Chris pa na.
Chris
Yung bandana. Sa Lasal nung time na yun, who were your contemporaries who eventually, became relevant sa basketball?
I don't think anyone from LaSalle went to the PBA,
At
or
the time.
played
Okay.
at that time. Kasi when Lim and Beng left, yung core team nila also graduated. Wala na eh.
Right,
Wala.
right.
I except for Henry Brodette, he was a very good basketball player. Kapatid ni Dave Brodette.
Dave,
Oh. Pero I don't think anyone moved to the PBA at that time.
Someone mentioned it might be Kenneth Yap though.
Kenneth Yap. Oh,
Kenneth
Kenneth Yap.
Yap.
Kenneth Yap.
Hindi rin. Okay.
Hindi rin.
Hindi rin. Okay. We'll find
Anyway,
out soon
Try,
enough.
guys, keep trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ayan.
Try na
Basta
try.
Very good fans.
star player
Ito,
of the Cell also.
ito nakabandana na. Nakabandana si Steve dito sa Crispa. Number 8. O bakit number 8?
44, bakit? 4 plus 4.
Wala, bawal eh. Binawal. Mas stricto yung amateur semi-pro kaysa NCAA. No choice. So I wore the number of my idol, Danny Florencio.
Okay.
Ang daming idol si Florencio, Sa mga na-interview na natin. Emerly Gaspi idolized him.
Have you guys
there's
seen the way he
another one.
plays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get
I was a Toyota fan, so
tail end, yeah.
Sinong hindi magiging idol niyan? Dabi.
Yeah. Skywalker nga before the Skywalker, di ba?
Oh my God. What a player.
No, but so your idol is Jerry West in the NBA and then Danny Florencio here, and they play very differently from each other.
I was confused, man. What can I say?
So am I now. That's why I'm asking about it.
I wanted to be everyone, man. I wanted to be everyone.
Yun sa akin din eh. Your favorite player is Jerry West but you love the Celtics. Parang that doesn't make sense. Diba? It's either your favorite player is Jerry West and you like the Lakers, or your favorite team is the Celtics and you love John Havlicek.
What can I say, man?
Yeah, whatever works, diba? Whatever works.
I can confuse as much as I confuse my wife.
Here's that team. Here's that team.
this is a youth team, yes.
Now, how can I forget that?
Should pa-blow up naman ng konti.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Para mas kita natin.
Eh, pero napipixelate lang eh. Pero,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let's see.
Ano yan?
That was a, I have to say, that was a team, man.
Kulang yan. There's only 9 guys there, but
I felt honored to be in that team.
But this is the RPU team of 77.
Oh,
This is,
nagiging Tinan mo yung goose pimples ko, yung goose
oh,
bumps.
wow, yeah, great. That's great. Who's the guy on the left?
Si Poblete.
Here?
Yeah.
Benji Poblete.
Chuck Barrero.
Oh, that's Chuck. Si Chuck ba yan? Wow.
Oh.
Okay. It looks so different.
Okay.
Then next to him is Alex Clarino, a thin Alex Clarino.
Yeah.
And then Castillo,
Not Castillo, right?
Matt Castillo, Poblete, loser,
Joy.
Carpio.
Joy
Carpio.
Carpio, Fritz Gaston,
Yeah, Vince.
JV.
Jimmy Mariano,
Jimmy.
and then the great one, Jimmy Manansala.
Ansala. Yeah.
Yeah,
Won the
yeah.
gold medal in Asian youth, right?
I didn't recognize si Chuck. Chuck looks a bit different there.
Oh, my.
Guys, he's a lot thinner.
Yeah. And the other, but he's also based in Hawaii now. And
Yeah, he's in charge of the stud farm or the horse farm of the Zobels
okay.
in Hawaii.
Okay.
He must be eating all the horse feed there. Kaya ang laki-laki. Nakita ko ni Chuck ngayon eh. I love you, Chuck, if you're listening in. Love you, man. I miss you.
Ibang iba talaga forma no, with the striped socks, you know, may Wilson, parang Wilson.
shorts.
Fred Pay.
Taas ang shorts. Yun.
Yeah.
And then halos walang nagba-black shoes pa nung panahon na yun eh. But there's one fellow nga, si Alex.
Clarino.
Alex. Wala, non-conformist yan eh.
Ito. Dalawang gwapo naglaban.
My good friend, Mr.
Joey.
Marquez.
Si Chong ba yan? Si Chong? Okay.
Chong yan. Siya lang yung may 66 na number. Eh.
I have to say, he is the funniest guy I've ever met.
A lot of people would agree.
Lasal din yan Di ba kayo nagkasabay yan? Lasal yan
Sabay ko yan. He's a fantastic guy. There are two guys that are the funniest basketball players. One is Fritz, and this is the other guy. They're like up there when it comes to kalokohan.
And he was a pretty good player. People don't know because he, you know, they remember him as a comedian or a politician.
No, he was a good
Sometimes
player.
sometimes it's the same thing, no, comedians and politicians. But no, but he was a pretty good player. This guy, he could even dunk. I remember him exchanging slam dunks with Willie Pearson, Ginebra versus Greatest one time. So, you know, can you tell us about Joey Marquez as a player?
Joey Marquez was a very good player, very good basketball player, very very good. And you know, the first time I played against him, I thought he was going to die because he has a problem with his windpipe. Parang hindi siya makahinga, or it seems that he can't breathe, so he's like gasping for air. So I said, oh, this guy's gonna die. Tapos mamaya dinangkan ako. So, yan ang ploy niya for getting around people. Pero talaga it was weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
National team din yan, si Joey Marquez.
He's a funny guy. He's a good, very amazing basketball player. Yeah.
But Steve, that first year in the PBA, you know, what was it like? You said you had spent the previous years in the States, and then suddenly pagbalik mo dito, mag-PBA ka kaagad, you know. How big of an adjustment was that?
It was a big adjustment because I didn't play any basketball. Siguro the only basketball I played. I knew I couldn't get on the senior team in the States because their team was set already. There's no way where I could get in. So I said, "Oh, sige na nga, mag-aral na lang ako." So I finished school and in basketball ko lang intrams tapos party.
Siyempre, college boy.
So when I got back, I tried looking for a future in the States, but I just didn't see myself there. So I decided to come back, and when I got back, it was still martial law, and the economy was terrible, and I didn't know what to do. So I said, looks like I'll just have to make bola everyone and say I can still play basketball. But in reality, talagang hirap. So,
But it was really, si Fritz nag-recruit sa'yo sa Utex. He's the one who called you and everything.
well, I asked Fritz, wala akong mahanap na trabaho, tulungan mo ako. So Fritz, the amazing salesman, gets me a tryout with. Okay, I got a good story for you. Gets me a tryout with Tommy Manotoc, because Tommy Manotoc was his coach in Utex, and Tommy was at that time moved from Utex and was now coaching San Miguel. So I tried out for Tommy, and Tommy liked me. I had the feeling that he liked me and he wanted me in his team. So he said, Steve, I'll call you tomorrow to tell you whether you're in the team or not. So I said, oh, that's amazing. Okay. So here I am, pins and needles, waiting for the call. The next day, I get the newspaper, front page, Tommy Manotoc kidnapped.
Yep.
I said, what the F? So
Okay.
I called Fritz, pare, anong gagawin ko? So again, God bless Fritz, man. He gets me an interview with the owner of Utex. And I did my sales talk. Daming fake news ko sinabi ko sa kanya. He hired me. Thank God he hired me. So that was my first year, Utex Wranglers, with my idol, Bogs Adornado.
Okay.
And Limang Beng was also there.
Yeah. Can you imagine idol mo yun tapos you play with him? That's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Did you guys engage in shooting contests or anything? You guys, Lim,
Talunin si Bogs.
Bogs, ikaw.
Of course. Yeah. No one could beat Bogs, man. Bogs was the man.
Yeah, by that time he was a 3-time MVP already.
Yeah.
Who was your coach then? What happened by there? Was Tommy able to come back?
Glenn McDonald there.
Yeah, it was Glenn McDonald already, right?
Tommy came back months after, and the coach of Utex was Glenn McDonald.
Right.
Boston.
Yeah, kamusta naman yun? How was that with Glenn McDonald, American coach, first American coach to handle a PBA team?
Yeah.
Glenn McDonald.
Yeah. Well, that's where my experience in the States helped me out. My few months in a American system helped me out with Glenn. So I got to get playing time naman.
The style of play in the first year mo, how big of an adjustment was that? Did any of the veterans give this the rookie white kid a welcome to the PBA? Welcome to the PBA,
Naalala nila ako eh. Alam nila na local lang ako, so naawa din sila sa akin. So, siyempre naman yung rookie year, you get banged up. Pero okay naman, you get used to it naman.
And your position by then, because you said power forward before in college, but now you're a small forward.
Small forward na.
Yeah.
Paliit ng paliit.
Oh, ang lalaki kasi ng
na.
Backup ka ni Bogs Adornado.
I played behind Bogs.
Yeah.
I played behind. Actually, I played. I was the third option kasi nandyan si Gary Vargas.
Oo nga pala, yeah.
But Gary would sometimes play the 2, so I got to play the 3. So basically behind Bogs.
And not a bad rookie year. You averaged 7.3 points per game in your.
Really? I thought I did much worse than that. But...
No, 7.3. 7.3. At the time kasi, that was pretty good na for a rookie. No? Kasi there were so many veterans who came in from Bikaha and all of that. So
Yeah.
for a rookie to
No,
have that
yeah,
sense,
82 was a pretty loaded rookie class, kasi
The Saldanias were there.
Upcore folded, and then
Yeah.
we had Terry Saldana, JB Yango, Marquez
Marquez.
Saldana.
Yeah. Buti na lang point guard si Fritz, pinapasahan ako.
that's
Yeah, I
right.
was gonna ask sinong point guard niya si Fritz nga pala.
Si
Yeah.
Fritz and Lim and Beng.
Dos si Limeng Beng.
Bakit suddenly after a pretty good rookie year, then you transferred?
Okay,
Nagsara yata yun.
another story. Okay, so after my rookie year, my whole year's salary, I said, I am going to Europe. That was my dream. So I blew my whole
Inipon
my
lahat.
whole year's savings to go to Europe. Confident that I would come back and become a Utex Wrangler again, because I had a decent first year. So I said, screw it, I'm going to go check out Europe. So I go to Europe by myself and visited my friends who were there. I had classmates that I got close to in the States, and they were Italian. So I spent some time in Italy. Oh my God, I put on so much weight. I visited my friends in Switzerland, and I get this wala pang cellphone noon. So
Telegrama.
parang message, naka-ticker tape pa, galing kay Fritz. Naalala ko something, umuwi ka na. Nag-disband na yung Utex. Sabi ko, oh my God. So I took the first plane out. Overweight na ako, grabe overweight. Mag-umpisa na yung season. And sino ba yun? Si Willie Generalao. I love you, Willie. Willie Generalao and Gary Vargas helped me to get into Gilby's.
Gilby's na.
Right.
Yeah, Gilby's.
Yeah, no?
This is Gilby's.
Winning shot. Winning shot ba yan?
That's my buddy Francis. God bless him, Francis, man. What a guy, man.
Si Joey rin to, di ba? Si Joey rin yung...
Yeah, it's also Joey.
Maybe on the left.
Joey and Francis. Joey was the one who kept me sane in those trying times in Ginebra.
Would you remember this game? Looks like you sang the winning shot here.
Yeah. How can I forget that game? I played like shit from the first quarter until the last quarter. I think everyone fouled out. No choice si Turun Valenzuela to put me in. I played absolutely like an idiot at that time. And siguro because I was playing so bad, pinasa sa akin yung bola, walang gumardya sa akin. So I was able to make that last shot, siguro. Yan yung storya niyan. So everyone just couldn't believe, oh, si Steve, hero, can't be. Ano nangyari yan? Sama ng laro niya.
Sinong kalaban niya? Would you remember? Was the opponent?
San Miguel.
Okay.
San Miguel, galit na galit si Ron Jacobs doon. Siya ang announcer.
Fritz Gaston was playing for San Miguel na rin yata at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure. Pero we won the game. Siguro mga seconds lang. They were up by 6. Panalo kami at the end.
How was it? In 83, you had a pretty good season with Gilby's. And then in 84, nandiyan na sila di ba? Or were sila Arnaiz already there when you entered in 83?
Wala. May Toyota pa noong 83
Yeah, 83. So all of a sudden,
84.
84, sorry. Pasok bigla si Jawo and
and Francis.
Francis.
Nice.
Did it change the whole makeup of the team, the chemistry,
Kasi may Willie Generalao pa kayo dun
Oh, we got better. Siyempre, Jaworski.
Was there a power shift or something? Parang was there a bit of tension, resentment from the older guards? That kind of thing.
Hindi naman kasi sila yung idol namin. And they walked in and syempre naman, all of us wanted the championship. Everyone was confident naman in their skills, pero you get guys with championship experience. Syempre naman, you have to give them respect, diba? So
you got the Toyota fan base when it shifted to you,
yeah.
a lot of them.
Yeah, they made it to the finals din kaagad in that first year na dumating si Jaworski at si Nice.
Yeah, they had Jaworski brings brings a lot to the table. He's amazing marketing guy. Not many people know this, but laking ginawa niya sa Ginebra, Jaworski.
Yeah.
That was his doing, his fan base and syempre naman yung skill niya. And then of course, Francis, galing niya, exciting siya.
We just talked to Rene Canenta a couple of days ago, and he said that when he played with Sonny Jaworski back in the 60s, he already sensed the leadership skills of Sonny Jaworski. Did you feel that the moment you were teammates with him, that he's take charge kind of guy, dictates how
franchise changer?
He was the ultimate point guard, man. He was the Magic Johnson of the Philippines. He could change the game. He could change the pace. He could make it go fast. Everyone who guarded him, syempre, the crowd was so with him. So it was hard. It was hard to really match up with him. He was so much bigger than most other guards. So, iba, wherever he went,
yeah.
game changer.
I'm looking at this picture right now. Sakit sa katawan tignan. The picture.
Puro mga bruiser.
Gonzalo, Relosa, Watson, Saldana. Tapos sa kalaban dyan, sino ba yan? Lazaro Abatuan ba yan?
Abatuan yata, yeah. Lazaro Abatuan.
Lazaro Abatuan, sakit sa katawan tignan yung picture na yan.
Enforcer's row eh.
Yeah, parang one of these things don't belong to the other.
Yung Watson lang yung mabait dyan.
What's the guy with the bandana doing there?
But that's why you're behind Ricky Relosa. He'll take care of you.
But the Gilbeys team transformed into the Ginebra team, and then the Ginebra team becomes the most popular team in the PBA. But they're also loaded with all of these bruisers. To protect Jaworski and the scorers. Kaya daming bruisers na kinuha.
I really don't know what what process Jaworski had, because if you look at the Toyota team, it was way different from Ginebra, di ba?
Yeah.
Iba yung style niya. So I think Jaworski got the players that did not care about bruising up, Parang sila ang Detroit at that time.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, agree.
Detroit.
Tama.
So obviously kaya hindi ako naglaro sa Ginebra because hindi ako Detroit quality.
No, but you were around pa rin in Ginebra in 1985 when that famous NSD game happened. I really want to ask about that. You remember this game sa Ultra, kalaban nyo Northern. Natamaan si Jaworski sa mukha. He had busted his lip. They had to take him to Medical City. Tapos tinambakan na kayo ng Northern, and then he came back, played with a bandage over his mouth, and guys won the game against Northern.
See, that's the psychological advantage that Sonny can bring. His fan base really idolizes him. So pagpasok niya, the crowd went nuts. So syempre naman, yung players ng NC, mga bata lang yan. So all of a sudden, parang nasindak din sila.
Yeah. I can imagine. Oh.
So, basketball is not all, skill. It's also, if a player can get into your head,
Now, what was that like? Being part of that famous game na nakita mo, wala na. Dinala si Jaworski sa ospital. We have to go up against these kids. Ano pa yata, if I'm not mistaken, was Jeff Moore also playing?
Yes.
Jeff Moore's the one who hit Sunny on the rebound. Jeff Moore hit Sunny.
Then it's still, nandun pa sila lahat, and then, wala na, dinala si Jaworski sa ospital. So tayo na. We have to take care of this. And then now, Jaworski comes back. What was Ultra like when that happened?
Yeah, like the crowd went nuts. You know, it was like the championship of the Lakers versus New York, and everyone was saying, "Will Willis Reed play?"
Yeah. That's what it evoked. Yeah.
Ganun ang nangyari. And Willis Reed came in, naglaro siya ng konti, the crowd went wild. Tapos hindi na siya naglaro, apektado na yung Lakers.
He made his first 2 shots and never played again.
That's why when they say ngayon, he had a Willis Reed moment, it means na you played hurt and inspired your team.
That's exactly what happened. Man.
No, but
this game was important kasi guys, because this was the birth of NSD. This is the birth of Never Say Die.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'd like to know how the atmosphere was in the locker room after the game, after you had won. What did you guys? Were you looking at him there with his bandage, and what was the feeling? Na parang grabe tong mamang to. Ano nangyari? Were you hugging? Was he high-fiving you guys? Is he that type of guy? That I don't really see him, being emotional with his teammates.
No, he's the guy really likes, the guy really likes the sport, and he really gets into with his teammates. He celebrates. He enjoys it. Nakikipag celebrate din siya. And one thing I noticed is that he had this smirk on his face. Nakuha ko sila.
Yeah.
I got them. I got one over them.
Yeah.
So
he would go on to play for another 15 years after that.
13
years.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Wala eh. Did a deal with the devil, I suppose.
Yeah. Ito, nag-one-on-one.
The guy really, clean living yan. He really takes care of it.
Ito sa shakies na to.
Yeah, everyone's saying that. Jawad, clean living. Yeah, this one.
Tignan itong picture na to, kung Steve Watson ka.
Yeah. That was, I don't know what put this in my mind na magwa-one-on-one ako kay Mon. I'll never forget, we were playing one-on-one and Mon was just like eating me alive. Tapos may narinig akong gago sa bleachers. Ang lakas ng boses. Watson, 0 ka na.
Pero what was the score?
Mon
what was the score?
The score, naka 4 points naman ako. Don't ask me what Mon got.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think he went on to win this tournament. This is the one that he won, no?
He did. He won the tournament.
He beat Ray Lazaro in the final, I think.
Yeah,
well, that was peak Mon, so there really wasn't much you could do.
Yeah, that was peak Mon. Mon was playing very well that year.
So those were your best years with stats wise, no? With Gilbey's and Ginebra. You averaged in double digits for 3 seasons, but you moved on after that, after those 3 seasons. And I just want to read something because I had to do research on you before we had this episode. So I looked at my 1986 PBA annual, and this is what it says. Okay, this is what it says. 1986. So this is after the 86 season, and you're in great taste already. You're in great taste already. Yeah. It says here, resentful of Jaworski's system, he sought to be traded early in the year and wound up with great taste, where he was unable to convince the coaching staff of his shooting expertise, and his average plunged, etc., etc. Resentful of Jaworski's system, you sought to be traded. I don't know who the editor is. Looking for the name. I don't know who wrote that statement, but
that's fake news, man.
Yeah. Okay, so I had to ask you about it because Diba? I mean, it must have been fun to play there. I don't know what happened. Your stats were really good. Your last Gilbis year or Ginebra year, 12.5 points a game. Diba?
Well, you know how it is. At that time, my basketball career was going to becoming a bit difficult because of my health. I had problems with my Achilles. It was basically coming to a crashing end, and I suppose the injuries sort of like got me psychologically. So I thought I could still play the way I played before, but I couldn't. So it was really not Jaworski. Jaworski is a nice guy, man. But I just couldn't, continue on. So I had to look for something else. Oh, look, that's me without hair.
Yeah.
And without the bandana.
And
Wala
no
na
more
bandana.
bandana. No more bandana with Tanduay.
The new look.
So this must be 86,
That's 87.
no?
That's 87.
87? 87, okay.
Tanduay na yan.
Yeah.
May masakit na naman ako nakita rito. Onchi de la Cruz naman ang pangalan.
Yeah, this is Onchi and I can't make out the other Tanduay
That's Vic
player.
Sanchez, I think, falling. That's Vic
Ay,
Sanchez.
masakit talaga yan. Masakit
No,
talaga yan.
no, that's Vic Sanchez purposely falling on Michael Hackett.
Oo. Tapos si Onchi, nakalabas yung paa para yun naman tutukuran ni Hackett, di ba?
Yeah. Kawawa si Hackett dyan.
Look at the position of Vic Sanchez's elbow.
Yeah. Diba? I'm pretty sure kasi sa high socks si Vic Sanchez yung high socks sa Tanduay.
Yeah.
Tapos si Onchi biglang preno, si Onchi.
De la Cruz.
Si Onchi nga biglang pumreno.
Looks like
Tumama
he's
na yung ulo ni
gonna,
Hackett.
parang upuan na niya eh. Si Hackett.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure they both ended on top of Michael Hackett.
Of course.
This play ended, right?
That was the game plan, man.
But let's talk about the Great Taste year. You reunited with Baby D.
Yeah.
And this is the only photo we could find of you in a Great Taste uniform. So, parang screen grab ng YouTube
At that time, wala na yung career ko, wala na. I couldn't play anymore, so I had to go to Baby to say, Baby naman, i-hire mo ako. So Baby hired me.
But you became his parang perimeter defender. I mean, your defense was there. You were being praised during the games for your defense at that time, which was unimaginable siguro earlier in your career. No, was that a deliberate change to become a defensive-minded kind of guy?
Well, there's no choice, because in Ateneo I did not play any defense at all. My teammates played defense for me because I sucked in defense. Thank God we had Padim Israel and Joy Carpio.
So you played with Joy. Joy was your teammate here. Great.
Yeah,
86.
Joy was my teammate, yeah. So when I made the move to the pros, I had to play defense because if I didn't, I wouldn't get any playing time.
Oh, I also wanted to mention the Bambi Kabigting was also your teammate on this team for a short stint, no?
For a short stint, yeah.
So, dami rin Ateneo players sabay-sabay halos dyan.
And Fritz was on that team also.
Yeah, wala.
Do you know that Bambi Kabigting is the stepfather of
Wesley.
the Philippines, Wesley So, yeah. Our grandmaster.
That's right. Who plays for the US.
No, plays for the US now.
Their grandmaster.
Yeah.
Their grandmaster. Oh, well.
Of Filipino descent.
Filipino descent.
Yeah. Sadly.
Now let's go to that Tanduay pick.
That's the only one.
That was the only one yata. I don't know what this is. This is ano na eh. Pero I want to
That's
stay here muna. I want to stay here muna with Great Taste because I was a Great Taste fan.
Sid.
Great Taste fan nga pala si Sid.
I was
sure.
The 86 was like a heartbreak season for Great Taste because they were coming off those 4 championships in 2 years, 84, 85. Then 86 didn't win anything, no, which led to the big shake-up in 87. Pero what was it like on that team with, Ricky Brown, I think Manny Victorino was there, and Willie Pearson, and Jimmy Manasala was also part of that team. Yeah, what was it like playing for that Great Taste team?
Well, it was quite an experience playing against the great one, you know, Ricardo Brown. He was something else, di ba? What do they call him in Pepperdine? The Brown Bomber. So yeah, it was cool. Very nice guy, Ricky. I think he's a principal in a high school.
Yes, yes, he is.
Yes.
He is. Yeah, he watches the show often. He comments and everything.
Yeah.
He'll be on this show one
We've been
day.
trying already for like how many months already?
So I better say nice things about me so he won't say horrible things about me.
No, but he's having he's busy now trying to reopen the school year. So it's tough, diba? Has to be
It's
online
tough.
and everything.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll figure out what to do. Yeah, but he was a super nice guy. Really nice guy. Very funny guy. Very subtle sense of humor. I enjoyed playing with him.
What happened when you transferred to Tanduay? How did you end up in Tanduay in '87?
Well, I really don't remember what happened. You know, I had been injured most of the time in Great Taste. That's when my Achilles got really, really bad, and I think Great Taste decided not to sign me anymore.
Okay.
So I had to work myself back to health, and I tried out for Tanduay because Tanduay, my old coach was there, si Turing Valenzona.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, Turo, you wanna give me a try? And he said, okay. I played well for him, so he gave me a chance. God bless you, Turo.
They were also team. Okay, go, Charlie.
No, I was gonna say, it's 87. You're there with Tanduay and you win a championship, the first conference.
Yeah.
Okay? With David Thirdkill, amazing team. I mean, so how was that feeling? You felt health-wise, maybe pababa ka na, or maybe you're at the tail end already. Then you won a championship with them. I mean, siguro, you must have felt really good about that.
Well, I always wanted to win a championship. I won championships in high school. I won championships in college. PBA lang, wala pang championship. So I really wanted to win a championship. Kala ko, we would have, when we were still in Gilbis, we were almost there. Eh. Pero kalaban natin, Crispa, sobrang lakas sila. Eh. So yeah, we did win a championship, pero wala, bangko ako noon in Tanduay. I just watched. Sana nag-TV na lang ako. I watched from the bench. And it was nice because that was the time Padim really got to get playing time because when he was in Crispa, he didn't get much playing time. But when he moved to Tanduay, his true skills came out, and people were able to appreciate what a good basketball player he was.
He was. So you actually got to play with your Ateneo guys, all of them. I mean, di ba?
Yeah.
You played in Kabigting, Gaston, Carpio, and then Padim. You got to play with him in the pros again at one time or another.
Sir. And we still lost that last game. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. No, pero you won the championship first conference. Pero what happened to Tanduay the rest of that year? I mean, you said you were there watching from the men's.
Nag-disband sila.
Yeah, but the second and third conference, they didn't even make the semis. Parang they just
the first conference, we won the championship. The second conference, nagkagulo-gulo na. That was, I think, right in the middle of the conference. Elizalde decided to come back, and they didn't know what his plans were and all that. It was the company was in disarray, and it affected the team. And so we really didn't know what was going on. And then it finally disbanded. I think it disbanded towards the end of the second conference. Yung third conference, wala ng team.
yeah,
So it was.
a lot of them went to Pure Foods. A lot of them went to Pure Foods now after that.
Yeah. So that's when I stopped playing basketball completely and opened up my t-shirt business.
That's right. No, but before we get to the t-shirts, which is a great topic as well, you have the distinction of having played with David Thirdkill and having played under Glenn McDonald. They're the only two PBA imports who actually won championships here and in the NBA.
Yeah. What a trip, huh?
Sadly for the Celtics, but but that's
No,
life.
actually, that's the best part. They won championships with the Celtics.
One of you is not a Celtics fan. It's obvious.
But
Lakers.
my beef with them is when they won championships here, they beat my favorite teams, Toyota and Great Taste. So I guess you can't have it all, no? So,
Yeah.
How was the decision to walk away at the end of '87? Was it easy? Was it tough?
You know what? When you walk away, you really don't have a choice. You know, your body just says it's done. You're done. Time to move on. Some players, they still have this feeling that they can continue on. Pero I quickly realized na hindi ko na kaya. So I said, okay, basketball is different now, so try and do something else.
Okay.
Now, I was just wondering lang, after your basketball career was over, that was also the time where Joey Marquez started to become pretty famous also as a comic actor. Hindi ka ba niya kinuha sa Palibasa Lalaki as one of the guests at any point?
Wala. He forgot all his friends. Wala. Joey.
Kasi malay mo, di ba, baka mamaya, one appearance, uy, pwede itong Watson maging artista. Tapos,
Wala. Actually, there was one time where he invited us. He invited me to one of his movies because his sister was a movie producer.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, Steve, kailangan ng extra. Tara na, let's go. Let's extra come out in one of the movies of I forgot." So we came out. Came out in one of Joey Marquez's movies.
Okay. So may showbiz experience ka rin pala. You're another one, huh?
So that was fun.
Wala na, after that, wala na ibang cameo appearances or anything like that.
Wala. Who would hire that guy? Kalbo na eh. Wala na.
No, pwede yan. Di ba? Medyo yung mga drug cartel, ganyan.
Gano'n.
Pwede.
Drug cartel, thank you.
With the balbas. With the balbas. And the look. Tinawa naman yung look. Talagang parang serious eh.
Someone you can't trust. That's me. Right
This was what? Pepsi na ito, no?
I wonder what it
think
is.
so.
It's a what job kaya? I wonder what the word is.
Oo nga, bitin eh.
It's a loy.
You're the guys that did the research, man.
I don't know. We couldn't find the full page.
It's a lousy job.
It's a long job.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
Did
you already have the T-shirt business when you were a player, or you just started it after you finished playing?
I started because like I was injured in Great Taste, no? So it was weird because when you have when you have an Achilles injury, your body is completely healthy, pero you can't walk. Eh? So career ender. I don't think Durant will be able to come back. Wala na yan. Tapos na yung career niya. Look at what happened to Kobe Bryant. Iba, when you have Achilles, wala na yan.
Did you ever have it operated on or?
Yung injury ko wasn't severed, no? It was just a strain, but it was difficult.
So hindi mo na pinaayos or anything? You didn't have surgery on that?
Wala. There was nothing to repair. It had to mend itself. Eh. And, wala, matagal yung recovery period. So when I was not doing anything, I decided to paint. I decided to paint T-shirts.
Hmm? Yeah, there's someone who commented. There's someone who commented. Ronaldo Cayetano. We love his T-shirt designs for Euro Rock. A face with aviator and quite psychedelic on a black shirt.
Wow.
I don't know. He remembers one of your shirts that you made.
Thank you. I'm very honored that you remember. Kasi so what I did was I started having exhibits instead of canvas, T-shirts yung exhibits ko. And I met this English guy who owned Euro Rock, Steve Ball.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the guy that really pushed the brand, and I was the creative.
Mhm.
And it went well for a while, and then people started to copy. And when they copied much cheaper. My process was very expensive, so I decided to end it na. Hindi ko
You
na
use
tinuloy.
you were using spray paint or was it
Airbrush,
spray
yeah.
paint? Airbrush, yeah.
I
Airbrush.
combined the airbrush, silk screen, and hand painting.
Oh,
So it
so
was
it
a
was
trip.
personally made talaga, as in by hand.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
pumunta pa akong UP. I recruited the art department.
Mhm.
They have amazing artists there, man. Grabe talaga their art department. One of the guys that worked for me was the son of the art director of UP, Dandan. I don't know. Who's a UP guy?
We're
All three of
UP,
us.
bro.
All of
We're
us.
UP.
All of us.
Okay, well, I don't know if you know Willie Dandan. You know Willie Dandan?
I don't know.
I wonder if
We
it's
only know
Will-
Ricky. Must
Yeah,
be
we only
related
know
to
Ricky
Ricky.
Dandan.
Must be. Fantastic artist, grabe. So he was one of my artists at that time. So it was nice. It was a trippy thing. I had it in my backyard. I had a studio there, and I had fantastic UP artists doing T-shirt designs and all that. It was a fun time.
Pero when you were young, you were already dabbling in art, painting and drawing and
Yeah.
things like that as a kid.
Yeah. Art was my thing, man. But it was just I never took it seriously. I would draw caricatures of my teammate, of my coaches, all that.
You still have any of those around that you can
You
show
want,
us?
you want to see? Okay, so Fritz and I are into gardening, no?
Uh-huh.
Ako matagal na, pero si Fritz is getting into it, and he's actually doing pretty good with his gardening. But the guy bought this chainsaw. So nagtripping everything, killing trees and all that. So gumawa ko ng design para sa kanya. You want to see it, guys?
Yeah.
Fritz,
Sure.
pasensya lang.
Yeah.
So pinapatay lahat yung mga trees niya. Walang pakialam.
Yes, stop share ko
So-
muna to. So you can...
Yeah.
So I had to do something about it. Ito na, malapit na, guys.
Ganda yung tanong ng isa, yung mga t-shirts daw na ginamit mo, bakit hindi crispa? Crispa, yung mga crispa 400 na t-shirts for your...
I had my t-shirts made to a certain way para komportable. Yung crispa, pag suit mo, one washing lang. Masikip na eh. Ito, this is Fritz advocating a no drug policy. Yan.
Wait, it has to clear. Wait, there you go.
Yeah, then.
Yeah. oh.
No drug policies. Really anti-drugs yan. Tapos, ito na. Yan.
Wait, hold it lang para it clears up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not clearing up. To the left
Okay.
a bit. Yeah.
Yan na.
What does it say? What did it say? It's stone. Yeah, it's stone. All right.
Yan ang
Okay,
Fritz
okay.
with
Kasi
the
no-
chainsaw.
Does he
Wala ka.
Oh, wala ka na, Well.
know that you made this?
He knows you've showed it to him already.
I did. According to him, it's his background in his phone.
Okay.
That's according to him. I
Our
even did-
recollection's still unstable, yeah.
I did one for Noel also.
Yeah. We saw that. We saw
I'll
that.
look for it. Go ahead. I'll look for it lang.
Yeah.
So that's what's keeping me sane now. I send out Christmas cards, birthday cards. Christmas, nagawa ko na.
All right. And
Yeah,
you sell your work now.
No,
Will you make-
no. I'm pro bono, man. I give them for
Okay.
free.
So
I'll
what are
send
you
I'll send
busy
one for
with
free.
now? That'd be great. Well, what do you do now? What keeps you?
I'm retired, man. I'm done.
Yeah, yan yung ginawa ni Steve para kay Noel.
See it there.
The sports guy.
The sports guy. I love it. I'm honored that you made one for me, sir.
Galing,
I'm honored that you're honored.
So, but then, so you did that T-shirt thing right after you retired. You're doing that already and all that. Then all of a sudden, you resurfaced in the PBA a couple of years later after you retired.
Yeah, so-
Suddenly, you're the manager of Pepsi.
Yeah, ito, I have one more photo to share.
One more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Pepsi. There you are as manager.
Siyam lang sila.
Manager Steve ka na dyan. You had
Sino
a
coach?
pretty,
Si Manong ba yan? Si Manong ako, ano?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
si
Derek.
Manong. And then Gabby Velasco on the left, on Steve's left. That's Gabby Velasco.
That was a good player. Si Redfield, galing niya.
Yeah.
Ken Redfield. Yeah, Ken Redfield.
Galing
That's
niya.
Guido Babilonia, Big
Vic-
Pablo.
Let's go left to right.
Yeah. That's
Who's
Jun.
this?
Si Jun Jabbar yata.
Jun
Habar.
Or
Habar?
ba yan?
Yeah, Jun Jabbar.
Habar,
Big Pablo.
Pablo, Redfield,
Redfield.
Babylonia.
Wow, he's in
Guido.
heaven now.
Yeah.
Babylonia.
Yeah, si Guido, yeah.
Who's this guy with the bigote? Si
Navarro yan, di ba?
Who is that guy?
Django.
Di ba si Django yan?
Django Rivera? No.
Ay,
Hindi yata. Ito si, good point guard.
Nap, is that Nap? No, Napaton?
No, this is
No, that's Eugene Kilban. But
Kilban.
the guy with the
Kilban.
mustache. Is the mustache is Napaton, no?
hindi sinabi yan.
No. Then Larry Villanil's next, no? After Eugene Kilban.
That's
Yeah.
Hatton, di ba?
Oh, baka nga si Hatton to. No,
Si Hatton yan.
Because I think the guy down I think is Larry Villanil.
Yeah, that looks like
Villanil, that's right. And then si, Valenzuela.
Uh-huh.
And
Naning.
This is Valenciano.
Valenciano, that's Valenciano.
Tapos si Coach, Austria.
Yeah, who's the guy in the middle, in the front?
This one. Yeah.
I cannot.
Nakaya mo kasi.
Name, man.
Can't identify. I was trying to.
You guys are the experts. You should know.
Yeah, but the pictures kasi iba yung itsura.
Yeah.
No,
Well, this is Leo Austria, the one on the left, right?
Yeah. Si
Leo
Coach Leo.
Austria.
So you only had 10 guys here for this photo shoot. The other 2 guys did show up.
Yeah.
I'm sure the fans will
should have been there.
figure out kung sino yun sa baba.
They keep saying it's Django Rivera. The guys are saying it's Django Rivera on the feed. So maybe
Yeah, I think that's Django Rivera, really.
It's one. Pero hindi, itong sa harap, I'm sure this is not Django Rivera.
Yeah.
The one in front.
That's not.
Romy Lopez.
Romy Lopez.
Romy Lopez.
Oh, you shoot.
Thank you everybody.
Thank
Salamat
you.
na naman sa inyo.
Romy Lopez, ayan. Yeah.
Tapos
Okay.
yung pinakita mo doon kanina picture, Sid, it's a lonely job.
Oh, it's a lonely job as manager. Okay, that's
Lonely job.
You were quoted as saying, actually.
hindi, it's an inside job.
Abogado ka talaga, Charlie.
Pero kamusta naman bilang manager all of a sudden? Now you're dealing with problems of players and salaries and the budget and things like that. Different perspective.
Yeah, well, you're not there to be a popular guy. So marami ka minsan maapakan. On both sides, the team and management itself. So thankfully, I had a very understanding team owner, the great Moro Lorenzo. May his soul rest in peace. But what a challenge, man! I'll never forget that.
Yeah, this team didn't do well. This team didn't do well.
I was about to say.
Actually, this team didn't do well, but when we got this import, and I'll never forget this. I was in Australia visiting my folks, and Derek called me and he said, "Oh, meron akong import na hindi kilala sa CBA, pero galing ng stats na. Tapos he had friends in the States that say magaling siya, and that import." His name was Del Demps.
Del Demps.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's big time now in the States.
Big time sa
He's
NBA.
the general manager of New Orleans, I think.
The Pelicans, no? He's with
Pelicans.
Former. I think.
Former. Is he still? I think he was with them.
I'm not sure, but the last time first he was Denver, and then so he's doing very well.
Si
But
Delano.
that guy was an amazing player. Hindi siya flashy.
Mhm.
Pero umabot kaming championship that time on the smallest budget. We
I
had
remember that, yeah.
we had the
smallest
lowest
budget.
budget in the PBA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
went
have
up
to-
against Tony Harris no, no? Tony Harris and Swift
Tony
yata.
Harris ng ano.
Yeah, no,
Si
unfortunately.
Si Elmer Yanga, parang tinatapon niya pero left and right. Kami, tipid. Pero umabot kaming championship. So,
But this was a pretty good young core sana to work with, ano? Meron kang very young Vic Pablo, then you had Eugene Kilban.
sayang eh. Sayang.
Di ba?
Parang
Yeah.
parang we expected a lot, but they started to play when they started to play well when Del Demps came in. That's the time that we had a really good team. 7-up pa kami dyan. That was we had to change the name right away because of that controversial 349 in Pepsi.
Oo nga, oo nga.
92 yun. Yeah. That was 92, I remember.
Sabi ko kay Moro, sir, palit tayo ng team.
Mhm.
Team name, wag na Pepsi. Sa 7-up lang.
Nagkagulo talaga nun 349.
Oh my God.
How
Yeah,
many years? How many years were you manager of the team?
4 years.
4 years
4 years. It seemed like an eternity.
of basketball. You didn't ever? Did you ever think of coaching? Was coaching in the stars for you? Did they get you? You know, Ateneo went through some dark days in the UAAP. Did they say maybe Steve Watson can revive the program?
No way. I've never be a good coach. Never.
Why not?
No, it's just not. I don't have the retention skills like Fritz or Chito Narvasa or Derek Kumar. No, I'd be too good. I let everyone play.
Then after you left Pepsi, what was next for you already in your journey in life?
Okay, so Pepsi was the Lorenzo family was wanting to let it go, and there was an opportunity to join the brother of one of the sons of Moro Lorenzo, who was this is another story, who was investing in a startup, a very hot business that was coming into everyone's mind, and that business was called cable TV. So there were two big players at that time. Cable TV was like a mom and pop in different provinces. But there was only one cable TV company that was operating in Metro Manila that was called Sky Cable. See, Martin Lorenzo decided to compete with Sky Cable, and we were Sun Cable, and we were sa provincial naman. So we were strong in the province, and then Sky Cable was strong in Metro Manila, and eventually it merged, and I became Sky Cable. We became employees of ABS-CBN.
Right.
Very sad.
I
don't want to go there. Let's not go there.
That's another matter altogether.
I don't want to go there.
I remember kasi yung Sun Cable na yan, that was the only place where you could watch NBA at the time. When Michael Jordan unretired, Sun Cable was the carrier of NBA at the time. So everybody had to subscribe to Sun Cable just to watch Michael Jordan's unretirement.
Yes, sir. We gave Sky Cable a lot of headaches, man.
Yeah.
Kaya nag-merge na lang para wala nang problema.
Oh, nag-merge na lang.
You know, you some people are commenting on the feed right now. You got into some scuffles during your PBA career. You know, even Sonny Jaworski, when you were guarding him at one point. Ray Lazaro, somebody remembers you and Ray Lazaro got into it one time. You know, those experiences. Because that wasn't your nature. You were never that kind of guy. Back.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Maybe it was. We just didn't know it, right?
Building me up.
No, at least that's what I was led to believe, no? But but now you're getting into it with these guys and all of it. I guess it's really different when you're in the pros, But these guys are really tough.
Well, what happened to me and Ray was really funny. Oh my God, that was so funny. That was so Ray and I. Ray gets me with his elbow, and the guy gets me with his elbow, and he gets injured, and he gets out of the game. Hindi ako makabawi. So that really pissed me off because that whole game we were at each other. Talaga. Ray, if you're listening, I love you.
Tulog pa yun, tulog pa. He's gonna wake up in about
Pero
an hour.
he will watch this later
He'll
for
watch
sure.
this.
But that game, I hated him, man. So hindi ako makabawi. Grabe, hindi ako makabawi. So sabi ko, paano makabawi? Si Joey Marquez will deny this, pero siyang may isip nito, no? Siyang may idea. Sabi daw niya kasi we joined the 2-on-2. Sabi ni Joey, gantihan mo na lang sa 2-on-2.
But he will deny it, huh?
Hindi yan. Gantihan mo na lang sa 2-on-2. So I waited for the right moment and kala niya magdadrive ako pero hindi ako nagdrive. Binato ko yung bola sa mukha niya. Miss, hindi ko na tinamaan yung mukha niya. So, wow, hindi ako nakabawi. Kaya nagsuntukan kami. And it was the funniest suntukan talaga because everyone was throwing punches and nothing landed. So I was so frustrated, hindi ako nakaganti. So umabot sa dressing room. Tapos walang nag-awat sa akin. I don't know why. Walang nag-awat sa akin. Lahat sila nag-aawat kay Ray. I think Ray wanted to kill me na. So nakita ko, lahat dami nag-awat. So sabi ko, ngayon makakaganti ako dahil daming humahawak sa kanya. So ngayon, free suntok. So sinuntok ko siya. Miss na naman, tinamaan ko si Bay Cristobal. Siya ang sinuntok ko. So all this time, di ako nakaganti kay Ray Lasso.
Okay.
He's got one on me.
Yan. So kung magkita kayo, ingat si paring Ray. Si Kuya Ray.
I will embrace him.
And, magkakampi pa sila after, di ba?
Yeah, I saw. Swerte niya, may kasama niya si Spolstra.
Yeah.
Because he's based in
Miami,
Yeah.
He's based in Miami. Okay.
Yeah. So that's his body. Naging body niya si Eric Spolstra.
Oh, lucky guy. Spolstra is from San Pablo, you know.
Okay. So when you were playing, you became a really good defender later on in your career. Kanino kahirap na hirap depensahan? Sino pinakamahirap depensahan sa lahat ng assignments that were given to you?
Lahat. Hindi ko alam kung bakit ako ina-assign sa pinakamagaling. Like I think Mon Fernandez owes me a lot of thank yous because gumaling yung kanyang offensive game dahil pirinaktisan ako. So yun. Tapos I think Billy Ray Bates made the most fantastic dunk on me. So I have many firsts in Philippine basketball.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, it was tough. Mahirap. Lahat sila magaling.
There is a comment here. Yeah, no, there's a comment lang here. You may or may not reply to this, but there's a comment here about Debbie Miller. I don't know about that. Roman chismis noon.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let's leave it at that.
Debbie was a cheerleader and she was a good friend. Very nice girl. And we're good friends.
Okay.
Ayun, so nung sa nagtanong, yun.
Yeah.
Sa nagtanong ngayon, here. They're good. They're very good friends.
Okay.
Okay. And then, Jimmy Manansala just chimed in. He said, "Hi, Steve. I can't forget our journey with the RP youth team. Hope to see you one day."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Doon lang
Jimmy.
naman
Mahal na
siya,
mahal
di
kita.
ba?
I can't wait to see you also, pare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doon
Galing.
lang naman siya sa Sampaloc eh. Pwede na kayo magkita.
Yeah.
Oo nga.
Wala, lockdown kami eh.
Oo nga eh.
I am considered one of the
High
people
risk. High risk.
lockdown. High risk, 60.
High risk. Oh.
Senior na, senior.
Hard to imagine, my gosh, with the bandana pictures kanina.
Oo nga eh. Any of your kids show interest in, and you mentioned or before we went on the air, you have 3 kids. Any of them gain any interest in basketball?
No, no one.
Talaga?
No one. They don't even believe I played basketball, man.
Talaga. They didn't know you're a superstar.
No, 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 no one believes. They all think it's fake news. No. Wala.
I'll tell them to watch the show.
And they said, Dad, that's not you.
You know, si Sid has some standard questions for you, but before we go there, I want to ask lang, are there any regrets about how you approach your basketball career? Yung studying first, and that's why maybe you
Disappear for 2 years.
maybe you didn't reach your full potential because you were like the hottest thing basketball wise in mid 70s. The expectations, a friend of mine compared it to how Benji Paras was looked at, 10, 15 years after you, that he was gonna change the league, and then it didn't, so do you think about that, or is it all wala na?
Well, first of all, thank you for all the kind words, my man.
That's the way it was.
You know what? You really have to decide if you want to play basketball, if you want to move on. That was my problem. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I had this thing about I had to finish school. Because when Ateneo left the NCAA, I had my whole life planned out. I'd finish Ateneo, graduate, great, and then I would decide what to do. But when we left, it was, I was affected. You talk to everyone in our team, and everyone's affected by what happened. We lose a championship and all that. So that messed me up a bit.
Mhm.
So for anyone in that position who's playing really well, basketball player, you really have to make a decision on what you want to do. Do you want to finish school and then join the rat race and look for jobs and be successful like the 3 of you? Or do you want to play basketball? You have to make that decision. It's got to be one or the other. You can't be wishy-washy like I was. Because when I went back from the States after 2 years, hirap na hirap ako. It was tough, man. Pero umabot naman ako ng how many years? 7 years, 6 years in the PBA.
6 seasons, yeah. 82 to 87, yeah.
And then you'll always be remembered. People never forgot you because of the bandana.
The bandana
Because of
talaga eh.
the character never left the memories of everybody, despite the short career.
My memory of Steve Watson kasi playing in the PBA is Jaworski, Arnaiz, Watson. That was my memory. Yeah, talaga. Jaworski, Arnaiz, Watson. Because nung naghiwalay Toyota, I was a Toyota fan. Naghiwalay Toyota, I went to anywhere that Juan Fernandez naman was playing. Some people went to Jaworski. So anytime I would see, eto na yung Ginebra, kakalabanin na sabihin na natin Tanduay, nakita ko na naman yung tatlong umiinit ulo ko. Ako, ito na naman yung tatlong problema. Diba? So yun yung, it was always Jaworski, Arnaiz, Watson is what always stuck with me. That was my memory of you.
And that's not fake news, huh?
That's not fake news.
So that's the advantage of sending an artwork early before.
Oh wow! No, seriously. I always remember I was in Ultra once.
You have to juice up the host so that he will be kind to you and say nice words to you.
I was in Ultra once. I remember you were taking free throws sa Ultra, sinisigawan pa kita. When you were
Ano sinasabi mo?
You
Wala
stop.
yan! Wala
I
yan!
heard,
Sablay yan,
I
Watson!
heard,
Sablay!
I heard this young guy saying, Watson, you suck, man. That was you.
Watson Sablay! Watson Sablay!
Noel, ikaw pala yun eh.
Ikaw pala yung sumigaw ng zero. Ikaw pala yung gumano.
You were the heckler.
I just said Watson Sablay in one of your free throws. I think he even looked at our direction. You missed, actually. You missed the free throw.
Well, Noel, I'm very humbled that
Wow.
you put me in such lofty circles.
No, but that's really true. No? Talagang that was my memory. I don't know what your guys' memory, kayo, what your memory of Steve Watson was. When
I just remember those rainbow tira sa labas, di ba? Yun eh.
Yeah.
Yan talaga eh. That's my memory of and of course the bandana. You never
So
forget.
I won't be able
Yeah,
to
the bandana.
I won't be able to sleep tonight because of all your kind words, man. Thank you very much.
No, we hope you sleep very well because of those.
No, yeah. No, ako bandana, and I think you played in I don't know if it was a double overtime game in the mid-80s, and but Joe Cantada said something about I think you were guarding the import the whole game. I can't remember who your opponent was, but you were assigned to the import the whole game, including the 2 overtimes. And Joe Cantada said something like, "When this guy goes to sleep, when he closes his eyes, now he's gonna see nothing but Steve Watson. You know, he's gonna dream about Steve Watson because Steve has been sticking to him the whole game." Something like that.
Joe Cantada.
For some reason, I never forgot that line of Joe Cantada. For some reason.
Atenista yan, pare.
That's right.
Kaya yan ang advantage dyan. So yan, bigyan mo hard work yung host at saka kaibiganin mo yung announcement.
And then Joe Cantada is the one who said the line "an eternity of basketball," and that's why we made it the name of this show of ours.
God bless him, man.
Can you talk about Gary Vargas a bit because Gary Vargas intrigues us because we saw him as a great player, but a lot of people didn't see him because he suddenly vanished.
Yeah,
He
He was your partner. The two of you were and Willie General Lau, the three of you were the 1, 2, 3 of that Ginebra Gilby
Well,
squad.
Gary Vargas was, of course, you guys know he was an amazing player, tireless, skinny guy. He was not too tall. He was very skinny, but my God, what a tireless basketball player. Guy didn't get tired. He just run up and down the court.
And he could jump really high, di ba?
Could jump
Jump
really
shot,
high.
yeah.
Could jump. Grabe.
Guess who's tuned in? It just said on the screen. Ray Lazaro is watching.
Oh, he woke up na.
Yeah,
I love you, Ray.
He heard you talking about him. Na-sense ni Ray Lazaro na pinag-uusapan natin siya just a while ago. Ayan na.
Ray.
nanonood na si Kuya Ray.
Hindi pa ako nakaganti sa'yo. Pero mahal.
Yes.
I love you, Ray. So yeah, Gary's. What can I say?
Yeah, si Ray usually paparamdam yung mga alas 8:30 na eh.
Hi Steve daw yan. He mentioned he just commented.
Messaged already. Yeah. He messaged already. But this also Gary Vargas. You still in touch with Gary?
No. The last time I saw Gary, we had lunch together. Nung nagbumisita sila, I was still coach. I was still not coaching. I was still the manager of Pepsi. Tapos wala na. His life is in LA now.
Yeah.
Yan ang nag-decide na from a very very good career. He was playing really well. He was the starting 5 of our team.
Mhm.
Even with Jaworski and Arnaiz and Tuadles, he was the go-to guy. And the guy just wanted to go to the States. He felt that his future was better in the States than sticking it out in the PBA.
He was a leaper, di ba? He was very tall, but he could dunk.
Jump shot nun. Oo.
Oh, fade away, layup. For a guy that short, I think it was a 6 feet 6'1", pero specialty niya offensive rebound. At that height lang yung height na yan. So
Napakataas na shorts, napakataas din ang medyas.
Yeah, that's right.
His nickname was Ibon, di ba? Is that correct? Gary Ibon. His nickname was Ibon. Si
Ibon?
Gary Vargas, yeah.
Wala, Gary tawag ko doon. Hindi ko alam. I don't know about baka
Maybe-
ipot. I don't know about ipot.
Sid,
Man.
fire!
Oh, fire na. Sid, go.
Fire, Sid!
Okay, sige. Yeah, I asked these questions this question to all of our guests. Who are your 5 favorite teammates of all time?
5
Iba na
favorite.
Ateneo. Iba na Ateneo.
Favorite,
5.
not necessarily the best or the
5.
greatest, but your favorite.
My favorite. Okay. Sana if I can say all my teammates of Ateneo. Hindi pwede, 5 lang, no?
Yeah,
5 lang.
In your career.
5 lang.
Career.
Well, Chito Narvasa, because he took me in. I didn't know how to play basketball at all. I was some skinny guy from San Pablo, and that guy taught me how to play basketball. So Chito Narvasa. Fritz Gaston, because he got me a job.
And you said he'd pass you the ball.
From
so you could
nowhere, Fritz would be passing the ball and all that. He really helped me out get into the pro league. So, and in Ateneo, as I said earlier, my teammates did the defense and I did the offense. See Fritz and Padim, amazing defense. So, my third would be Padim and Joy Carpio. How many is that? That's 4 already.
4 na.
One more.
One more. One more. I would say Willie Henralao.
Oh, why? Why Willie?
Willie Henralao also helped me out. The point guards,
Yeah.
forwards won't survive without the point guard. So,
Right. Yeah.
so I did exactly what I did to Noel. I would give them tips and be
Give
nice
him a
to them.
pass. Yeah.
So they would pass the ball to me. So, but when I was looking to get after Utex, I was looking to get into another team. It was Willie Henralao that vouched for me. He said, "Get Steve." Actually,
Ginebra,
Gary Jan, si Gary was also
Yeah.
instrumental in me getting into Gilby's. But
did you have a relationship with Willie before that? I mean, I'm just wondering why he would vouch for you if you weren't
We
teammates
We
before.
played in. I came back from the States, and my only workout was to play in Ateneo covered courts. And si Willie, siya yung hari ng Ateneo covered courts. Siya yung everyone idolized him. He just came from winning the Rookie of the Year.
Of the year, yeah.
So he owned the Ateneo covered courts. Basta't may pickup game siya. So he allowed me to, he remembered who I was, and he allowed me to play in his scrimmages, and we got close. And he liked tennis also.
He
He's
still plays. I think he still
He's a
plays.
Class A tennis player in Cainta.
Right.
I
He said it.
Sangguniang, I think he's one of the counselors there.
Right now, no, I think
he's the
I know he's the president of the
homeowners.
homeowners. Yeah, president of the homeowners.
Homeowners. Okay.
Yeah. But I think he did run. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he was a guest here eons ago on this show.
Yeah.
Early guest.
In the teens,
Yeah.
in the teens, yeah, in our teen
Interesting
episode.
guy, Henralao. Do not underestimate that guy. He sounds very simple, but he's got a lot in his head.
Oh yeah.
Very, very.
I have a relationship with him for the last I think 10 years na yata. So
You do?
I know him very well.
What a
Yeah.
fantastic guy, huh?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He was cool. He was funny. We had a
Yeah.
nice episode with him. He was telling us all sorts
Yeah,
of
he used to do
Yeah.
Ang dami niyang ano. But that's a really nice backstory. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you struck up a friendship pala on the Ateneo cover courts with Willie.
Really, and
Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah.
he took me in, and he was much younger than I was, and he knew that I was trying to do something, and I really appreciate it. So all my choices are players that help me out.
Jerry Versosa sends his regards. Huh? Jerry Versosa sends his regards according to Coach Jalma Arnedo. So,
Jerry Versosa.
Yeah.
He is my star point guard, man. We wouldn't win we wouldn't have won the championship on our first year if it wasn't for Jerry.
There's another comment here about Gary Vargas. Maybe you could confirm this. Gary Vargas played with a small statue of the Santo Niño tucked in his waistband.
He
Someone
is,
is,
yep.
Yeah. Yep. Confirmed.
So did Willie Generalao.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was a ritual pala in Gilbey's.
Yeah, that was the brown in brown plastic, right?
Yeah.
With brown string. Yeah, both of them. Gary Vargas and Willie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, interesting. We learned so much in this episode. Steve, my final question before we call it a night, because as you know, this is an eternity of basketball, but we don't really have an eternity to chat. Wish we could, though. Maybe we could do this after the
Let's
GCQ.
do it, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, how would you like Steve Watson to be remembered in a basketball sense?
How would I want to be remembered? I don't know. Maybe. Well, that's a confusing question. I've come in different. You know, to be honest, in my basketball in the PBA was. Was really not planned. It was because of circumstances, economic, really. So I really wasn't ready for the league, so I wasn't able to bring the game I had in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose you can remember me whatever way you want to. Ateneo, I was really proud to play for an amazing school and to play with amazing teammates. I was so lucky to be a part of that team. And in the PBA naman, dami kong naging kaibigan dyan. So many characters, grabe, such crazy people, pero what an experience. So, I don't know. Siguro, remember me with my bandana when I still have head hair.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of the guys will always remember.
Yeah.
About
We can send you all of the pictures that we dug up so you can reminisce with your family and prove to them, hey, I did play basketball, kids. Diba? I have proof.
I'm glad I decided to wear bandana. Yeah. Because that's what people remember me for. Not my game.
Yeah. Teaser on the site. We had a teaser. I said, spoiler alert, bandana. And within like 30 minutes, you had 50 people saying Steve Watson already.
Just one word.
Just one word. Spoiler alert. Bandana, Steve Watson.
God bless you all for remembering. What an honor and what a privilege.
We're glad to have had you.
Thanks for having me over, guys, man.
Yeah.
Salamat.
Thank you also.
I think I laughed. This is the episode I think I laughed the most. I was laughing so much.
That's true.
So we really need to get together when everything's back to normal. We can get together.
Yes,
I'm gonna take you up. I'm gonna take you up on that, Steve, because
yes, sir.
It's gonna be a fun night.
I will take you guys up on that. We should all hang out and party.
We should. Yeah, in New York, in of all places.
New York Cubao, bro.
New York Cubao.
Sid, you want to plug anything for the NBA?
No. Well, I think Celtics are playing tomorrow, so that's when the real games start tomorrow. Celtics versus Bucks.
Milwaukee.
6:30.
Whatever.
The games kanina were just, appetizers lang yan. Tomorrow, the real games begin.
See you at
6:30 a.m.
You got this rivalry going on.
They try to gang up on me, these two guys.
Yeah, he's the only Laker fan here.
Huh?
You guys take care of yourself and stay safe, huh?
Yeah, okay, just sign us off. Sign us out.
Before we go, I just want to say that we have an ongoing auction, as most of you know already. And we're going to add since we have an Ateneo guest, we're going to add an Ateneo bundle to this, to the auditions, to the auction, to the auction for the cause of course, supporting our sports broadcasting and production personnel who have been sidelined because of the lack of sports, the stoppage of sports because of the pandemic. So we have one of our first Gilas warmers.
Sumabit ka, Noel.
Your internet's killing you, Noel.
Noel, magpakayat ka ng internet mo.
Noel, internet.
Yeah, again, this is JC Intal.
Oh, JC Intal, okay.
All right, good. Is it good?
Yeah,
JC Intal.
This is a JC Intal,
Yeah,
Gilas
Filipinas,
Practice
okay.
Okay.
That he signed. Yeah,
Okay.
he signed. And it's a bundle. So, not just the uniform, but he also has some signed shoes.
Okay.
This is
Oh, that's very cool.
So go to Noel Zarate's Facebook page.
Yeah,
and,
medyo nag-freeze si Noel, so
yeah.
yeah.
So this is
that's on
JC
Noel's
Intal.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
No, that's on the Facebook page that I will talk about. But
Okay,
this
so
is
yeah,
going
so
for
please
auction now.
bid for that para naman makatulong tayo sa ating
Yeah.
mga kapatid dito sa industriya ng sports broadcasting. Okay, Noel, take it away.
That's it. All right, guys. Pasensya na from my internet in the end. We would like to thank, of course, Son for taking us back in
Thank you,
time
Steve.
and making this one of the funniest episodes we've ever had.
Noel, Charlie, why don't you do it na lang?
Noel,
Charlie,
Noel.
Medyo yung pag-freeze mo pa, medyo
Episode
Noel.
3.
Teka lang. Noel, we didn't hear anything you said. Si Charlie na lang Si Charlie na lang tapos.
Hindi. Yeah, it's not cooperating with us. Noel's internet in Antipolo is on the blink right now. So we're going to close episode 33 thanking Steve Watson for coming on the show. Thanks for your time and all those funny stories that we had. So sarap talaga noon. And as usual, reminiscing here on an eternity of basketball. On Tuesday next week, we're going to have a guest who also played for Tanduay for his entire career. His name is JB Yango. And he's going to be with us here on the show on Tuesday. We'll announce the schedule on our Facebook page. Maraming salamat kay Steve Watson. Maraming salamat din sa aking mga kasama. Siyempre, Sid Ventura, Noel Zarate, and all of you. Thank you for watching as usual an eternity of basketball. Our followers, we love you so much.
Wait, nagsisingit yata si Steve.
May habol.
May habol. Yan.
That's my daughter.
Hi.
Ateneo.
Hi.
Your dad was a superstar. He was. Okay.
Over there. Say hello.
All right. Okay, yun si Stevie
See you soon,
Watson, ang
Steve.
kanyang pamilya. At yan, nagwawakas na. Episode 33, an eternity of basketball. Charlie Kuna po, signing off. Kita-kits.
Bye.
Bye, Steve.